decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game! Is this the dagger? Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James!
Cleveland! This is for you!
Welcome to the Stepback Podcast.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Stepback. It's your boy, Kyle Coleman. I got Pat Sabolka here with me. We got a lot of hoops to get into, Pat. You want to jump right into it?
Yeah, dude. All right, so I want to start with I have a new infatuation.
With what?
James Harden.
Oh, my God. Here we go with this. Why?
Dude,
Tell me why.
James Harden is probably my new favorite player to watch in basketball right now. Just because, dude, the way he's running this Nets offense has just been unbelievable.
Yeah,
and the fact that he's been able to just carry them through all these games. I mean, they've won, 14 of the last 15 without KD.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably one of the best. They're definitely the best offensive team in the league. Harden just destroys everybody in the pick and roll. Nobody in the league can guard him.
Yeah.
No. That's like
all the ISO stuff.
Yeah. All
the just on the 3-point line, the dribbling, and then the. Did you see the play he had the other day with DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah. Oh my God, he's off the ball. He's moving.
Gets
it
back. Gives it back up. It's just like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, dude.
It really is ridiculous.
No, I totally agree. And the way I was watching the game, I was watching them last night. They played New York last night, and Harden at halftime had 11, 10, and 7 at halftime.
Yeah.
And this man is just eating, bro. He's dominating. And see, I think people are like, we don't trust Harden in the playoffs. But it's like, dude, Harden doesn't need to be that number one guy in Brooklyn. KD can't. Who cares? I mean, one of these guys, Harden doesn't have to be the main scoring option.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's a huge problem because if Harden doesn't have to be the number one scoring option, he can just facilitate. I mean, that's going to be a lot of big problems for a lot of teams. And that was the biggest problem was Harden had to be the main scorer, and he can't do that. I mean, he can do that. He's going to give you 35.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's not going to do that in the playoffs. That was his big thing. So, I don't know, man. Brooklyn is scary.
Yeah, dude. I mean, KD's been out. It is pretty scary because KD's been out. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they won 14 of their past 15. They've continued to get better on the defensive side of the ball. Since February 10th, they're second in offensive rating at 120.7. They're 13th in defensive rating, 111.
That's the thing.
They're second in net rating. They're 9th in opponent field goal percentage. They're 10th in opponent points per game at 109. So, this is without KD. And they are trending upwards without their best defensive player. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Kevin Durant's the best defensive player. He's the best defender on that team. So you're literally missing your best defender, quite literally. And you guys are trending upwards defensively. And obviously offenses, it's not even, nobody's concerned about their offense.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, it's like playoff time. I mean, I feel like this is one of those teams, man, where especially since the Harden deal early on, that's after 9 games, Harden gets dealt, right? And now Blake gets bought out. I know he hasn't played, but now Blake's there. It feels like a pylon situation. So now it's just like those early Miami years where it's like you better win. The pressure is so high, I feel like, for them to win because of how much they've piled on now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the pressure's on KD to prove that he's that guy and doesn't need to rely on Steph. The pressure's on Kyrie to prove that he's that guy and doesn't need to rely on LeBron. And the pressure's on Harden to prove that he can contribute in playoff times and doesn't get, go 5 for 17 in elimination games and play terrible again. The pressure's on these guys. They have to perform right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? This is it.
No, I agree, but I also think all three of these guys in lesser roles could be more productive for the overall, group of the Brooklyn Nets. All three of them in lesser roles may add to more wins as a team and more playoff wins as a team, and I still don't think they're done. The deadline's coming up, and I think, this Brooklyn team is going to be super nasty, man. They're going to be super nasty.
Same.
And I think, the way Harden is running the offense right now with these pick and rolls, and, I mean, he just gets everybody involved. The passing, bro.
Same. I know that, but it's like,
Dude.
do we trust this? How many years? How many times do we have to do this? How many times do we have to do this where every single time we're like, we've never seen anything like this. It's historic. This guy's unbelievable. And then playoff come, different guy. Different guy. Nobody's ever argued that Harden's not awesome in the regular season. But that's not my point. My point is like, how many times does this guy, when somebody shows you who they are, you got to believe them. Like how many times it's been like 7 years in a row. This guy's just not showed up in the playoffs. And you have a point, and that's a solid counterpoint that like he doesn't need to show up as much as he once did now that he has other stars around him, which is true. That's definitely true. But like, man, I don't know. And also it's like, you know, because I've thought about, because he is playing awesome. He's obviously, like you said, he's carried them.
He's leading the league in assists.
Dude, he's, like you said, he's unstoppable. You can't guard him.
Yeah, there's nobody in the league that can guard him one-on-one.
No. You go out there, he blows by you, you sit back, he jacks a three in your face. There's no way to guard him.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, there's
the
nothing
way
you
he
can do.
moves without the ball.
Yes.
He's virtually unguardable.
Excellent passer, and he's led the league in assists before, and scoring, obviously. But
yeah, dude,
you know,
Harden's a monster.
and I've
bro.
talked about, and I've thought about, I've kicked around the idea of what about Harden for MVP, and how much would he have to do to at least be in the conversation for MVP? Because if you're asking me just based on what I'm seeing with my own two eyes, he's in my top 3 or top 5 at worst.
Easily.
But the problem is the beginning of the season with the shenanigans, and I don't know how many of those writers are going to be willing to vote for him. That's 9 games in Houston. That works out to 12% of the season in 72-game season. That's nine games is 12% of the season. For those 12% of the season, not only were you not valuable, you weren't even on the same team. Like, you forced your way out of a team to be with another team. He's not going to be getting any votes from any writers for MVP. But that being said, his production is up to those like level standards. Obviously, he's carrying them.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, dude, Harden is like, just watching him play, it's just like, I'm sitting there yesterday just watching the game, and I was like, oh my God.
So do you think they're going to win the title?
Yes.
You can still get him at underdog right now. On like FanDuel, they're plus 300. They're second.
They're an easy
the
lock.
Lakers are plus 250. There are no like locks. Everybody's are just dogs. It's pretty much even money, but you can just get like I said, the Nets are plus 300. The Lakers are plus 250.
They're so good, and they're not done. Like, they're still gonna make like one or two more moves.
As of right now, Vegas has them as the second odds. Still, Vegas still has the Lakers. Wild.
Dude, Brooklyn's going to win this title.
I agree.
They don't even have
They are
KD.
going to make more moves. They are, probably.
And they still don't even have KD
Then
yet.
again, is it smart? You've won 14 of your last 15 without your best player.
Tell
Is
me
it
why
smart?
Drummond doesn't go there.
I know. Well, they said that those are his 2 destinations.
Yeah, but if you're Drummond, tell me you're
Brooklyn
not
and
going
LA.
there. Like, yeah, but like if LeBron's calling you, you're like, fuck. You're going to go play with Kate. I got to go play with AD and KCP and stuff, or I could just go play with Harden. And Kyrie and KD
maybe.
and
but I mean,
and
also,
Blake and stuff.
But
so
also,
like,
that is the exact kind of athletic big that LeBron has always been awesome with. Like you will have some
I don't
awesome.
know, man.
Not that Harden hasn't. He had some beautiful highlight lobs to Capella and stuff like that. But LeBron with like a big like that, like don't discount how nice that is. He's gonna get you so many buckets. They don't have a high flyer. Maybe Drummond's not a high flyer, but like an athletic big who blocks shots and throws down dunks. They don't have a guy like that. They have Marc Gasol.
I think that's just super intense. Like, I think if both teams call, if they're both contenders, I think Drummond goes to bed at night thinking
You're
Brooklyn.
probably right.
And if he goes to Brooklyn, it's nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, I agree. Probably. He's like, what, 13 boards a game or something?
Yeah, dude, he's
12 boards a game.
averaged like 15, 16
So
in
like
his
the
career.
thing with Drummond is weird because he makes $34 million. So and they don't want him there and he doesn't want to be there. So the argument is always because all right, this kind of brings me to another topic I wanted to bring up with you, which was these buyouts because a lot of people will say like it's garbage. Why can't then everyone can just demand a buyout and then go sign with Brooklyn for the minimum. Right? So I mean, it's a double-sided sword. I had someone bring that up to me this past weekend. And it's like, well, yeah, but those same guys could have just decided to sign for less and all joined each other there. So it's not like they have more power than they would have otherwise had.
Right.
So a buyout happens because a team can't trade your contract.
Right.
Obviously, a team does not want to buy a player, give a player 100% of the money and then not play for the team. That's not what they want to do.
Yeah, no.
It's the last option. What they want to do is try to move that contract, offset that money, and bring back at least something if they can get an asset back, rather than just literally paying you almost 100% of your money in offense
to get
cases.
off the team.
Right, like Blake took, I think, a 10% haircut, but most guys make 100% of your money to not play.
Yeah.
It's like that's not what they want to do. Okay, but I heard
It's crazy that Drummond is like go ahead.
I heard Brian Windhorst today talking about the fact that they won't be able to offload. They're not going to be able to trade that contract unless they get a third team. So unless there's a third team, the trade's off the table. It's going to be a buyout. It's almost 100% going to be a buyout unless there's a third team. And the third team is unlikely. So what's going to happen is he's going to get bought out, and it's going to be up to him. He can sign wherever he wants. And it really is. It's that simple. They do have that much power. He can go to L.A. He can go to Brooklyn. Somebody else can get bought out too.
I think he goes to bed at night thinking Brooklyn.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else got bought out too and they went to Brooklyn as well. Because why wouldn't they? It's like a free win.
It's how
year.
the Golden State thing was. Remember when Boogie and everyone's like, okay, now they have Boogie. Like it's
was Boogie a buyout?
Yeah. Well, no, it was a free agent.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he's injured, right?
Yeah, but he ended up taking a minimum, and it was like, okay,
yeah.
You know, like if
then
they
he
get
said
Boogie.
nobody else was gonna give him offers, and a couple other teams were like, we offered him more money, and he was like, shh. Quiet. None of that.
But, yeah, man, I don't know. This Brooklyn thing is super scary. Like, of course, LeBron in his not last year, but, like, in, the late years, it's like, he's got to scratch and claw for this next title. It's like, it's super
Dude,
brutal.
every time he seems like he's close, it's just like something happens where it's
a
just
major
like, roadblock, a massive roadblock. He's just got to be so frustrated. And especially because, like, the changing teams didn't happen until year 7 or 8, but these young guys don't care. Like, they'll change teams as soon as they can. If they really want to, as soon as they're free, they will do it. So, like, LeBron's like, man, I signed an extension that first time. Like, maybe I could have went somewhere else, got another couple of rings real quick.
Yeah.
These young guys don't care. Like, if you think a 19-year-old coming into the league thinks the same way we used to think back in the day, like, no, they think the modern way, which is, I'm trying to join with my friends and play some hoops and win some rings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, like LeBron's got to be thinking, like, because he's so close all the time, and he's got to be thinking, like, man, I wasted some of those early years. Some of those
just
early
stuck
ones.
in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He signed that first.
He
signed an extension, right?
Yeah, 7 years in Cleveland. Yep. 4 and then the next 3. Yeah.
Brutal.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Anderson Varejao. It was tough, dude. At first it was like, remember it was like, you ever see that video? And it's like all the Cavs players that are currently on the Cavs in 2002 talking about the number 1 prospect in 2003.
Yeah.
And they're like, the fact that he thinks he can just come in right away and make
like
some
Carlos
sort of
Boozer.
impact. Yeah, it was Carlos Boozer. He was like, make some sort of impact like he's some sort of Caron Butler or something like that.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's
and
tough.
He came in and just dominated the league.
Yeah, of course. He's the leading scorer, leading assist man his very first year on the team. Yeah, stop. What are you talking about? I can't impact the game? I'm the best player on the team. He was probably better than all those guys when he was like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Stop.
LeBron's immediately a top 10 player in the league at like 18
when he's a kid. Yeah, definitely. It's not even close. It really is not even close. All right, so so moving on. So but what do you think about Harden for MVP? Do you think that's out, or do you think it's a possibility?
I don't know, man. Well, I just watch him dominate these games. I mean, he single-handedly. I mean, defenses are. How do you guard this guy?
You don't. Remember, we've seen guys try to do it with hands behind the back.
Yeah,
they try to stand behind him.
What do you do?
Ricky Rubio used to stand behind him. They tried everything. There is nothing. What do? You wait. You wait until the playoffs. That's what you do. He's ineffective in the playoffs. At least that's what history shows us.
Dude,
just wait. Just wait it
man.
out. It'll be fine, man.
I don't know. It's going to be crazy because he's such a good passer. And, I mean, the way he can just set up all his teammates at all times. I mean, the way he runs the pick and roll is gnarly.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
It's gnarly. I mean, the
That's
passing
why he was
is
awesome with
off the charts.
Capella, because Capella is such a good, like, above the rim, rim running big, like athletic big, who throws on lobs and blocks
But, dude,
shots.
KD is going to be stuck on the perimeter, and he's going to be spotting up. So Harden's going to be Harden is a problem.
Yeah,
he's leading the league in assists without KD.
Yeah, what is he? How many a game? 9 a game or something?
No, I think he's like 11 assists a game.
Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
I don't know. I just think, man, Brooklyn is a super big problem. They're a super big problem just because the way Harden is able to facilitate, like I said, I mean, it's gonna be tough, you know?
So the other night in the third quarter, Philly versus the Wizards. Embiid goes up for a dunk and lands weird, and they say he's out 2 to 3 weeks minimum. So they say it's not like a real significant injury. It's not a major injury.
It looked really bad.
But he's gonna miss 2 to 3 weeks. There's a couple ripple effects that's gonna have, which, one is obviously their team. They need him. However, it is kind of nice, I will say, they signed Dwight. Dwight is no Joel Embiid, but he's a veteran. He's not going to come in and there's going to be some huge drop-off. There will points and production-wise, but in terms of just like
winning games.
Right, like making wrong plays or being in the wrong spot, like that's not going to happen. You don't get to train some new guy to come in and learn how to play. Like Dwight is a veteran. Like he just won a championship with the Lakers, But yeah, it is big. It's going to be more shots, obviously, for Simmons and Harris, and it's gonna change. They got to try to hold it down, man. They got to try to hold it down because they are one of those teams that's fighting for a top seed in the East. They want home court. It's gonna be tough without him. Obviously,
I agree, man. I think that Dwight just stepping in, like you said, he's a seasoned vet. He's gonna come in, he's gonna fit in Doc's offense. He's gonna play, and
he's not gonna mess up that much. Yeah,
totally. But I don't know, man. I think Ben is awesome. Ben's probably winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that NBA did announce that they announced their new Defensive Player of the Year ladder, and Ben is number 1.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
Yeah, probably.
Did you hear, bro? Did you hear?
Well, he's like an.
Did you hear that Wizards announcer?
Yes. Talking about Ben is overrated. Yeah. Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Well, he said he's the most overrated player in the league, and then he went on his social media and he jumped on there and explained what he meant, which was that I don't think he's bad. He's obviously awesome, but he's just rated higher than he is worth. More than anyone else. Like the discrepancy between where we rate him and where he is higher than anyone else.
All right, so when you're starting a franchise then, and your number 1 guy, number 1 option, your number 1 pick, Simmons is ahead of Trae Young. Simmons is ahead of Ja Morant.
Really? I don't know about that.
Simmons has been in the playoffs every year. Every year of his
career,
he's been in the
you
playoffs.
look at a guy like that and you say, what is his ceiling? Because I know for a fact that is game plannable in the playoffs.
For sure.
I think that if Simmons is your best, you're talking about if Simmons is your best player.
Sure.
If Simmons is your best player, you're never winning a title because he can't shoot.
Right.
And so,
but as
renders
far as
him ineffective in games 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, maybe I'm insane. That's an insane take. Let me take that back. But Simmons is a high top 10 point guard, easily.
I don't know. We were talking about it. It's weird. He's weird. He's like a weird player. He's like a 1-4-3 kind of dealio, but he can't shoot. But he plays incredible perimeter D and low post D.
He's the best defender in the league.
It's really
right
bizarre. He's 6'10". He can
guard
lock
all
up
5 positions.
all 5, including on the perimeter, off ball, on ball. He does literally everything. He runs the offense in terms of he's the quarterback who's putting guys in positions and he leads the team in assists. But he can't shoot, and he's not the number 1 offense. He's not the number 1 option for scoring. He's just a really weird player type. And it's I'm not anti-Ben, but I am anti him as your number 1 option. I think that's kind of what Doc has done this year.
For sure.
Said, you take a step back.
I
this
agree.
guy takes a step forward. That's how if we are ever going to win a title, that's how it has to be.
I agree.
Remember back in the day, 2011, that's what D. Wade reportedly said to LeBron. After they lose the first year, Dwayne Wade's like, dude, if we're going to do this, you have to be the guy.
Right.
Dwayne,
passed the torch,
metaphorically passes the keys off to LeBron. And then, so it's it's got to be like that. It's got to be listen, Ben is awesome. Ben has to come to the realization that him as the number 1 guy cannot lead a team to a championship for the same reason Giannis can't.
I agree with you, man, but I think Ben Simmons, that Wizards reporter's going and he said he's the most overrated player in the league. As ironically, Russell Westbrook shooting a free throw. Who I think
thought
is
that's why he said it. Yeah, well.
But I just think, man, that Simmons is just super, super hated on. And yeah, I understand the jumper, right? He can't shoot, period. He doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, the ability for him to still average, 14 points a game without even doing that and playing point guard and playing mostly on the perimeter and still being able to get to the rack is unbelievable. I mean, he runs the break super well. He's an unbelievable passer. I mean, remember all the stuff at, LSU? He had a little bit of that attitude. I don't know if you remember that. They didn't make the NCAA tournament. They didn't qualify or whatever, and he didn't want to go. But that's a whole other story. So, I don't know, man. It's how you feel about Ben Simmons, as a player, It's how there's obviously no locker room issues there, know.
It's also, I feel like it has to do with it's just play style, and it has to do with roles. And if you're going to be the second or third guy or the guy who's going to take a step back, Rondo led his team to the championship as a guy who could not shoot but put everyone in position. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
But he wasn't the first option. He wasn't the second option. He probably wasn't the third option. You know what I'm saying? He was the fourth, maybe fifth option. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's a game of chess, and I'm not sure I understand how to use that chess piece yet. I don't know the best guys to put him around. You've always said Ben and 4 shooters and let him drive and dish. Maybe. And then that creates the same problem that Giannis runs into when he can't drive. When they build the wall, he can't drive. Drive and dish all you want. When you can't drive, it doesn't work. You have to be able to drive. You build the wall, you stop the guy, you force him to shoot. Nothing works. It's not going to work. Stay home. Don't let him dish. Force a guy to shoot. Sag off him. Play off him. Make him beat you. It's just, in 7 games, let's put it this way. In the modern era, at least recently in the last 20 years, we haven't seen it work. Other than the guys who are willing to take a step back like Rondo, like somebody like that. We haven't seen a point guard that can not shoot well lead his team to a championship while he's a first, second, or third scoring option. We've never seen that.
Yeah, well,
never seen
I
that.
agree, man. But he's, like we said, he's the best defender in the league.
That's true. And
he's gonna lock up all 5 positions.
Yeah, and he's a net positive on the court because of that, and because of his basketball IQ. He's always in the right spot. He always makes the right play. Right, but you can game plan against that, and he also doesn't score that well.
Yeah,
he's what, 13 a game?
No, I'm not
13
yeah, for sure. I'm not saying he's. Let me refute my statement by saying, I don't think he can be your number 1 scoring option and win you a title. But I mean, as your as your starting point guard, there's a scenario where he can win you a title.
He's 16, 7, and 7, 16, 8, and 8 if you round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on a bad team, he's probably taking a team to the playoffs.
Yeah, on a bad team, he's 22, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the second 10 because that.
You're 18, 19, 11, and 8 or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Stop.
His scoring goes up and probably his assists go down because he's probably passing to worse people. But yeah, man. It's weird. I honestly believe that we don't know. We don't know what his ceiling is yet because we've never seen a 6'10" point guard who can't shoot.
It's
Magic
super
kind
weird.
of. Magic kind of, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Magic would at least knock him down.
And it's a different era.
Or shoot him.
Magic would go play different positions. Magic went and played center in the finals in a triple-double. I don't know. Ben Simmons might be the answer. Maybe he's a 4. Maybe on defense he's a guard. He's a backcourt player. And on offense he's a frontcourt player. Why can't he be John Collins on offense? And no, because he needs the ball in his hands.
He needs to handle the ball.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know. And then what do you do? What does he do when you just sag off him in the playoffs and everyone sits literally at the low block?
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. But like I said, I was just saying, I don't think he can be your number 1 scoring option. I think if you can just surround him with better players and shooters and another number 1 scoring option, put Simmons with Beal. Or Simmons needs to be that CP role. You know what I'm saying? How CP was with Booker, how he just gets him open looks. Simmons could be with a gunner and just be able can you imagine Simmons and Clay? You just got to put him around with guys. I don't think
that works as well. I think that Clay works because he's with Steph and you have to drag everyone away from Clay to guard Steph so he's always open.
Yeah. But I'm saying you shooters or shot creators around Ben Simmons is the key. I think.
Maybe. We don't know. We genuinely don't know.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think this Philly
Do you think he does better if you just flip him and Giannis? Just flip them. Flip them straight up. Do you think Ben does better with that roster?
No, because I don't think Milwaukee did it right.
With
I need a better shot creator.
Mm-hmm. It's fair. It's a good argument. I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, we don't know. But let me say, another thing about Embiid's injury is that does throw off his MVP race. Because he's leading in the MVP right now, but if he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks, if he misses 2 weeks, that's 20%, or 3 weeks, that's 20% of the season.
Yeah.
So, that's according to Fox Sports 1. That's what they were saying today. If he misses 3 weeks, or I think maybe they said 2 weeks. 2 weeks, full games, every game, that would be, 10 games or something like that?
Yeah.
No, that's not right. It must have been 3 weeks. If he misses 3 weeks, it's 20% of the season. And nobody's ever won the MVP missing 20% of the season or close to it since the writers started voting in 1981.
Yeah, so the writers aren't going to vote him in.
That's what Chris Broussard said.
Yeah.
He said it. He said today, this morning, Chris Broussard, who is a voter, MVP voter, said Joel Embiid's MVP campaign is effectively over. He can't win it. It's not historically accurate if we give it to him. He's out.
LeBron.
That's what he said. He said it's LeBron's for the taking. The only problem is they're basically 500 in the time the AD's been away.
Yeah.
So it's like this is really like his moment to go grab it is win while AD's not there. Like, can you imagine if he was like, he could say like, I went 17-3 with
we'll
AD
see
wasn't
now
there.
the door's leaving it open for someone like
Harden,
Yeah.
Luka, somebody else. Luka's making a run these last 10, 12, 15 games.
For sure.
We talked about it last week.
I think Harden is going to be – I think he could sneak in and win this.
I don't know. I don't know that they'd give it to a guy who
because
literally
I think
quit
they're
on
going to
his
look
team.
at Embiid and be like,
What about Jokic?
they're not good enough.
They're not going to give it to Harden, who literally quit on his team and forced his
I don't know,
way
man.
out.
I think
he got suspended for COVID things. Like, dude, they're not giving it to him. They're not gonna reward
It's going to be
bad behavior.
interesting, bro. I don't know, but it's leaving the door open for one of the – what if it's Kyrie?
No. He's not worthy. He's straight up not worthy of it. If anyone on that team should win it, it would be James. He's the most valuable player on that team.
That's what I think. I don't know, man, but I think this whole thing, they're going to look at Embiid and be like, Embiid was out, 20% of the season.
Yeah.
They're going to look at LeBron
games.
and be like, LeBron is kind of like,
Not
he was awesome, but like not really MVP. Like,
it's
that's
really
tough.
this second half of the season. This
Totally.
last third of
but
the
then
season.
you're going to look at Jokic and be like, okay, well, they're not good enough. So who's the best team in the league? All right, it's Brooklyn. And Kawhi, they've kind of been underperforming.
You can't give it to Giannis. Why can't you give it to Giannis? His numbers are way better than
Because they would never give it to a same guy 3 years in a row. That is never going to happen.
It has happened.
Who?
I
don't think that's ever happened.
It has happened. I heard it today. I heard the stat today. But it's a long time ago. It's like, the 60s or 70s.
I don't think they're going to do it again.
Me neither. Neither do I. And they say that he's out because of his playoff performance last year. They say they gave it to him multiple years in a row, and multiple playoffs in a row. He fills it out, so they won't give it to him again. Yeah. That's garbage. The reason is what you just said. They don't want to give it to him for a third year in a row.
That's what it's going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like if that's the case.
Unless he's like 30, 20, and 10.
Well, if that's the case, if it can really be because he didn't do well in the playoffs last year, so the playoffs can work.
The only way he would win the MVP 3 years in a row is if they go like 74 and 8, and he's 30, 20.
Dude, if they were if they were gonna start doing that using prior playoff campaigns for you and against you, it would make the MVP completely convoluted and make it like
Harden would never
a career thing. Like, no, that's not right. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what you said. 3 in a row, for sure. Nothing about. Whatever they're talking about.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's garbage. That's all up front. That's all up front.
But I don't know, man. That's why I'm saying they're going to look at, like I said, bro, they're going to look at all three and be like, and then they're going to look at Brooklyn. They're like, dude, they're the best team.
Or what's up with CP? Why can't CP never get any love? Is it statistical? This is that same argument we have every year about what the hell does the MVP mean? It means different thing to different people. Define value. Most valuable to their team is not the guy who most often wins it. Like, it's a different thing. The best player in the league doesn't always win it. The guy with the best statistical season oftentimes wins it, but only if his team's good enough. It's very like it's not set in stone. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, we all know what they're looking for. They're looking for statistical good season, plus being a top seed, plus not missing games and doing well when your other teammates are out and things like that. It's obviously what they're looking for, plus media narrative. So I really honestly believe it's LeBron's to lose, who opened the season at plus 1,100, or they give it to someone who we haven't even thought of yet because we haven't heard anyone talk about it yet. And someone hits a couple game winners and, wins 7 in a row or something like that, and then they start getting it, making a little noise.
The door's wide open.
Making a little noise, Right, and then they enter the conversation. So it's either LeBron's to lose or that will happen. But I agree, yeah, the door's wide open. It's really anyone's to lose. I've been saying it all year. It's about moments. And in my opinion, who has the moments is Luka. Luka has 3 buzzer beaters this year for game. Go home. See ya. Like, they just need to win. Like, all right, so they've been winning more in the last month than they had to start the season. Yeah. But, I mean, what would they need? Would they need top 3 seed in the West for Luka to be in the conversation?
Yeah, got to be.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're
That's
right.
what basketball history will tell you.
Yeah. At least modern NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be like a low seed.
Except for like Westbrook. But, I mean, that was just
historical, weird, different
And then everyone was
situation.
like, oh, basketball statistics are just booming. These don't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, man. It's going to be super interesting because it's like there's so many different ways we can look at this. And like we said, man, the door's wide open. So it's like I'd love to see Harden kind of sneak in. What if Harden ends up being like a 2-time MVP? We're like, oh, my God, dude.
What if it's like Harden, Luka, and CP at the end? And
It's
we're like,
weird.
whoa. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would love to
Embiid's
see
out.
LeBron step up and take this.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, right?
Yeah, he
For his
needs to
career,
take up- yeah,
that'd be
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
He
That
had a
would be really
triple-double
cool.
and beat Steph
That would
last
be
night.
5.
Yeah.
That would be 5 on his career.
5 MVPs.
Yeah, I think that would tie Michael.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be really cool. I
Dude,
don't know.
I don't know, man. I think I would love to see Harden get it, and I would love to see LeBron get it because I think that would be, it would be sick, dude. What if Harden, like I said, man, what if Harden ends up being like a 2-time MVP? And I'm telling my kids, like, oh, yeah, he sucked. He's the greatest scorer ever. You're like, Dad, he's 34 a game. You're like,
you should have seen him got locked up by Manu Ginobili in Game 6 one time. Elimination. I got blocked for game.
He missed 27 straight threes.
Manu was 38 years old. He locked up James Harden in an elimination game. It was embarrassing, son. You don't want to be subjected to that kind of nonsense.
So, I don't know, man. But
yeah, I mean, obviously,
it's going to be it's just been a weird year,
Harden's stock, MVP stock continues to rise. Luka's MVP stock continues to rise. CP's MVP stock continues to rise. LeBron has just been kind of steady, even.
Right.
He hasn't been falling off that bad in my eyes, and he hasn't been going up and getting it. He's just kind of hanging out there.
Yeah, but they're losing games.
They are. They're like a little bit above 500 without AD.
Ugh.
Like barely above 500.
I need more than that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think they might make moves too. Also, they have to decide what they're going to do about like their contracts because they have like Schroeder. Like I was hearing Schroeder wants to re-sign, and if the Lakers want to re-sign him, they got to do it now. They need an extension. They need to extend him before he hits the market because if he hits the market, then he's going to be pissed and he's not going to want to deal with it. So he'll give him a discount if they sign him now. So they're willing to sign him now is the question. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did you see the tweet about the German reporter?
No, what?
That some German reporter said that Schroeder was going to sign an extension and Kuz and KCP are most likely gone or something like that.
See, I wouldn't be surprised because Kuz and KCP are the two making the money.
Yeah.
13 or whatever, 17.
Yeah, they're perfect tradable contracts.
Yes, exactly. Right in the middle. Yep.
And they said that he said that Schroeder was going to sign an extension, but I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that, man, because I don't know how he's going to play with LeBron in the playoffs.
Yes.
So it's like it's going to be so hard for him to for me to just be like, yeah, here's a 3-year deal, like worth $84 million. Like I can't do that.
I mean, he's right in the heart of his prime though. He's 27. A 3-year deal puts him at 30.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could do that, man. What if he's Jordan Clarkson?
I know.
Jordan
Clarkson might win 6th man of the year.
Yeah. No disrespect on Jordan Clarkson.
You mean like the Jordan Clarkson that showed up next to LeBron?
In the playoffs,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When Jordan Clarkson was playing with the Cavs in the playoffs, he just missed everything. Or what if he's like, just not hitting big shots. It's like, I'm stuck here.
I know
LeBron
what
needs
you mean.
every bucket.
Yeah.
Because
I know
remember
what
we
you
did
mean.
that episode,
It's
man?
exhausting. It's so exhausting.
You remember we did that episode of
Yeah.
like how hard it is to play with LeBron?
Yes,
Because
totally.
it's like, dude, these guys, I mean, this whole man's legacy is on the line.
all
and
the
you have to
pressure's
be-
on you, a billion eyeballs. You don't even
Twitter's
get
on fire
you don't
every
even get
night.
to touch the ball
Totally.
and get in a rhythm. It's go stand in the corner until I
Yeah.
freaking pass it
If
to
you
you.
screw up, you're always on
Yeah.
Twitter getting
And you
screwed
better
up,
make it
blown
when I
on.
do pass it to
Totally,
you.
man.
It turns everybody into a spot-up shooter.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, especially when the pressure's on, like you said, in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying,
More
bro.
lights, more eyeballs, more pressure. It gets hot, man. It starts to sweat. It gets a little nervous, and some guys can't. They just can't hack it. You know what I mean? Some guys can't hack it.
That's what I'm saying.
You love to bring up when Rodney Hood, they told him to go in the game. He was just straight up like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
wanna-
like, Rodney Hood's talking to his coach. He's like, dude, you're like, T. Lou's like, dude, get in the game.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
He's like
T. Lou's like, dude, I'm your coach.
He's
I'm
like a
telling
good
you to
player
go in
before
the game."
and after
Oh,
that
yeah,
moment.
Yeah,
It's just like some moments are too big for some guys. It's just
Yeah.
like, And you look at LeBron, and he's just built for this moment. He's been doing this since he was so young. It's like some people just don't do well with it. I don't think Schroeder's going to have that problem. That he's such a feisty,
It's such
like,
a big
type guy.
commitment, bro.
But I
Like,
mean,
that's
why-
why I don't understand. Why did we re-sign KCP? Why are we doing
I
that?
agree.
Why
that
did
was
we
weird.
do that?
'Cause
Why are we re-signing
Clutch
Kuz?
sports. Same with THT. He's gonna get. Actually, I don't know. The Lakers do love him. They would love to bring him back, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. If he does, I'm crediting it to Clutch Sports. LeBron loves all those Clutch guys, man. They always get hooked up. They always have. They always have, dude, since day one.
Yeah, but it's not going to win him a title. At this point in
Dude,
his career,
Tristan
he
Thompson got overpaid. J.R. Smith got boatloads of money overpaid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. LeBron loves scrubby clutch
It's
clients.
so annoying.
LeBron
His whole
loves
career.
scrubby clutch clients.
His whole
dude.
career, he just
Yes.
sticks with these scrubs.
And he gets them
It's like, bro, we
overpaid.
need to move these guys.
Yes, we need to move them. We need to move on from them. And LeBron's like, you better pay him. None of this. Remember when LeBron was like having that public thing where he's like, this is so disheartening.
Yeah.
Like, I really need them here. It's like the Cavs are just like, dude, we don't want them here. We don't want them. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
We don't want them here. We were going to move on from them completely. Now you're making us give them $80 million contracts.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
They're literally being held hostage. Literally. By LeBron. TT's still getting paid by Cleveland because
Oh
of LeBron.
my gosh,
You know?
bro.
Like,
I don't know, man. I just think that's so tough. Like, bro, we gotta move these guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're wasting time here.
with KCP, you mean?
Yeah, like
You're out
we're
on
giving him a
Kuz?
3.
This has been Kuz's best season. You're out on Kuz?
I don't know.
Statistically worse, but best basketball playing.
So we got Trez, or we.
That's
we
who I'm
say
out
we.
on.
We say we.
That's
like,
who I
we're like
yeah,
the
you're wearing
Lakers.
a Lakers shirt.
Yeah, Lakers. But
yeah,
I'm
we
with-
got Trez.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got
So
Trez.
when the Lakers signed Trez, we were kind of like, oh, dude, it's over.
I was not. You were. I've never been hyped on Trez. He's overrated. That's your overrated player. He's an undersized big who can't shoot, who's not a big, or is he
Dude,
big?
he's so nice. I don't know what you're talking about. I know
know what you mean. Hustle and offensive
Dude,
rebounding.
he's out
it's
here giving
fine.
me 17 and 8 a couple nights, 23 and 9.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's not going to work in the playoffs.
I need
The type
that.
of-
I need
that
that.
type
I
doesn't
need
work in
that.
the
So
playoffs.
I don't know. When the Lakers signed Trez, I thought it was over.
I
For
do
me-
like him on that tiny little contract, though. Don't get me wrong.
So I don't know, man. I was looking at that, and I was like, once the Lakers got Trez, like I just said, I thought, like, boom, it was over. You know. So I don't know, but now it's like, dude, the Lakers or the Nets got Harden now, so now it's like, bro, you know, the Lakers got to make more
because you
moves.
thought it was between the Clippers
Yeah.
and the Lakers.
Right,
And then when
right.
the Lakers stole Trez, you were like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. And then the Nets came on the map, and
Right.
I don't know, man. They got to make.
So
more
is your
moves.
money on the Nets right now, as is?
Yeah,
yeah. If
Uh-huh.
the title was tonight,
Gun to my head, yeah, Nets.
you're putting the house on the Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably same, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I might have LeBron and MVP, to be honest.
What
To
if
be
LeBron
honest with you, he
turns it
might
on
not
in the
be.
finals?
He might not be my MVP.
Okay.
But I think that's who wins it. I predict that he gets the votes and secures the MVP award for sure.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know if he's
That
my
would be
MVP.
awesome.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying it's a little iffy.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We'll have to see how it plays out. All right, but moving on. We'll see what the
Dude, what if
MVP
LeBron just turns it on in the playoffs? He just dominates.
47, 16, and 8.
You're like, oh my god.
Maybe
Bro.
any just prime vintage LeBron.
Yeah.
Dude, how about the fact that because the deadline is what, next weekend?
Yeah.
I messed that up last show.
Yeah,
Sorry
we
about
screwed that up.
Deadline's next Sunday, I believe. It's the 25th. But we were talking about it earlier. Like, you see all these stories about this guy, this team is interested in this guy, and this team is really interested in this guy, and these 3 teams are after this guy if he gets bought out. And you never, ever in any of those stories hear anything about the Chicago Bulls. So, like, my question the other day is, like, I sent you that post, and it had all the different stories of that day, of rumors and things that different reporters had reported that were possible trade scenarios before the deadline. And there was, like, 13 different teams, none of which were Chicago. And we were like, how come they're never in these conversations? There was one trade rumor earlier. We addressed it with Lonzo. Obviously, that still has not happened. But they're never in these conversations. And, like, it was talking about John Collins. The Hawks don't want to pay John Collins. So, John Collins,
It's on the block,
the
yeah.
Celtics are interested in John Collins. And I'm like, dude, how come the Bulls are never interested in these guys?
Yeah.
What do you mean the Celtics are interested in John Collins?
Why are the Bulls not interested?
Everyone should be interested in John Collins. If the Hawks don't want to pay him, okay, well, what does he want? That's where you start. Everyone should be interested. What do you guys want for him? Does he want to sign here? Does he want to re-sign here and extend? Because if so, we could probably make a deal for him right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what you mean. Why are they never interested in any good players? Ever. They're never interested. It's like, these guys are always available. This guy's a Drummond. The Lakers are interested. The Nets are interested. There's always somebody else. Like I said, Collins.
I think that means that the
Celtics
Celtics have maybe called the Hawks on them.
But, like, what? How come we don't do anything?
I know. It's so
Why
frustrating.
don't we make move? Why don't we shake things up?
Yeah,
Like-
Otto Porter is going to be on his last year of his deal. If we don't move him, this is a prime time to move him. And he's just going to walk. You're just going to eat the $28 million. You're going to eat every single dime of that whole contract, and you're not going to trade him for anything. This is we have 2 weeks to get off this deal. We can trade it. We can get a pick or an asset back. I promise you, the Clippers or some team contending. You're telling me Brooklyn wouldn't throw me anything nice for a couple picks for Otto?
They're capped out.
They have no picks. That was stupid.
And their money
but
is
you know what
capped
I'm
out.
saying?
They have
Like
to max.
Denver won't throw me a pick for Otto.
They also have to match the money. Unless they're not capped out, the people have to match Otto's money.
Yeah, dude,
so
we need
who
a
has
buyout. We need a
who
buyout.
has money? Well, if you're gonna buy him out, you might as well just hold on to him, dude. To be honest.
Yeah, but I
Because-
feel like it's just gonna hurt watching him walk. I mean, all right, fine, bro. So it's like, hear me out. So we make this awful deal, right?
Yeah.
With Bobby Portis, and he goes to Washington.
Yes.
We get Otto back, and we eat this $28 million deal. It's brutal, right? So he has a little bit of value. He's played pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
this year.
He's gonna get another nice contract.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna get $7 to
Like,
$10 million next year.
for
13.
Sure. For sure. So I'm saying, my point is, why would we not trade him now and get something in return?
It's gonna be hard to line up the money. It is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
a
be
deal.
hard to line. You
Yeah,
might
it's
need a
tough.
third team. Try to bring in a third team. Or you talk about a buyout, I guess. You're bringing a third team
That's
possibly.
tough. That buyout's not going to happen.
No. Well, I don't know, man. The problem is, like, they never look at Houston. Obviously, with the Daryl Morey situation, they were always bringing guys in and out, in and out. Okay, then they move on from Daryl Morey, move on from James Harden, and what do? Guys coming in and out. Ola, we don't want you anymore. Somebody else. Dude.
Karis LeVert in, Karis LeVert out to
Okay,
Indiana,
if you're
yeah.
not good enough to win the title, and you have certain guys that you want to hold on to, and you're like, I love this guy. I want this guy. He's a part of my young core. I want to hold on to him. And you have these other guys who you signed in free agency or you picked up along deals otherwhere. Why don't you use those guys and just shake it up? If you're not going to win the title, what is the harm in shaking things up? And then maybe you might find out, I just got like a veteran piece over here that was kind of, he kind of just wasn't looking good over here. Well, he happens to work really well with Levine. You know what I mean? That's how they came across Thad Young. It's like, you have to do that though. Like, you have to be willing to make some moves. Like, do they think that what do they not? They never go after free agents. They never go after any even.
Well, they've been screwed.
Decent
I mean,
trades.
this is the first year of a new GM, so I think we got to give it some time. But I also think Carter Silvas has got to make a move here.
They have to. They have to, or else they're going to lose a little bit.
Whether it's Satoransky or something. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think you're dangling your feet and you're dangling your toes into the sea of basketball hell, or you're just the 8th seed. Look at what Orlando has been, where you got like good players. Like Vooch is like a superstar. A top 3 quality guy that would be on a championship team. And Isaac is like a young stud, and Fultz is the number 1 pick.
Now.
So it's like, dude, you're just in basketball.
They're the 9
hell.
seed now. They're in basketball hell now. That's like what I'm saying. Is literally they're the 9 seed in the East right now. Like, I don't know. They're 4 games out of the 4 seed, but that means nothing. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, Brooklyn will sweep them.
If they finished even with the 4 seed, would that you wouldn't care?
Brooklyn sweeps them. Milwaukee sweeps them.
The Bucks sweep them. The Nets sweep them.
Pacers sweep them.
The Sixers probably sweep them. The Heat, they might take one off. The Heat probably not.
Charlotte probably beats them in 5 or 6.
Celtics probably sweep them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that does nothing for me. So why don't we mix? So why don't we start to change things up? What's the harm in shuffling things up when you have a season?
It's going to be so weird. Are they just going to let Lowry and Carter walk when their contracts are up?
I saw a crazy stat. I put it on our Twitter on the Stepback account, dude. But it was about – here, I'll find it right now. It was about the difference in – net rating and total value. All right, so this was 4 days ago. In the 15 minutes Wendell Carter Jr. played last night, meaning 5 days ago, the Bulls were outscored by 42 points per 100 possessions. On the season, Wendell Carter Jr. has a 115 defensive rating, 3rd worst on the team. And then there's this. And then it says, Bulls stats while Zach LaVine is on the court. So with Wendell Carter on the court, LaVine's defensive rating is 116. With him off the court, his defensive rating is 113. His net rating with Wendell on the court is -9. LaVine. So LaVine can't play with Wendell. But LaVine's net rating with Wendell off the court is 3.2. So obviously he can play fine without him, but he can't play with him. But listen to this. With Wendell Carter on the court, LaVine on the court, Wendell, -9. Wendell on the court and LaVine off the court, Wendell, 5.9. So, again, he can play without LaVine as well.
So, it's obviously just not working.
Here's the other thing. And LaVine is definitely not a good defender. He's a minus defender, and that is a fact.
He's gotten a lot better.
He's definitely a net minus defender. It's just a fact. But there is evidence that with other veteran defenders, you can make it work. So, like, Zach LaVine, using those same metrics, Zach LaVine with Thad Young on the court, 8. Thad Young off the court, -10. So that lineup works. Other veteran defenders, dude, Wendell Carter and Zach LaVine just can't play together. They can't play together at all.
I think Zach LaVine, I understand what you're saying about him being a minus defender, but I think he's gotten a lot better this year.
But I'm saying you put him with the right people and it works. You put him with Thad Young and it works. You put him with Wendell, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When they're both on the court, it's a net negative. But it's not LaVine's defense because when LaVine and Thad are on the court, it's a net positive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's those two don't work, and you're obviously never choosing Wendell Carter over Zach LaVine. Wendell's got to go.
Right.
Wendell's got to go, and he's got a little bit of value. You might be able to get something interesting.
Yeah, totally. A team looking for
nothing like really nice, but maybe like some interesting piece or something. You know, he's still on.
I don't know, man.
Still on his rookie contract, so he hasn't been paid. If they are going to trade him, somebody's got to pay him, which sucks. Because I don't know what he's worth, man.
Yeah, they're just stuck. That sucks, man. I hope they make a move like Satoransky and stuff. Like, I just want to.
Yeah, do you have any other like predictions for the deadline? I know we've been talking about this a couple weeks now, but anything? You've got any gut feelings or anything? I know you said you think
Boston definitely makes a move.
Boston?
Yeah, Boston definitely.
Where did that come from? Just Danny Ainge hasn't done so in a while?
Yeah, and they're plummeting. You know?
Yeah, they suck, dude. Why?
Because they have no bench.
Yeah,
The bench is
totally.
young.
Yeah.
It's all
They play
young
like-
guys.
they play like
Kemba is
Peyton
falling
Pritchard.
off. Yeah.
They play weird. They play like their
I like
rotation
Time
is
Lord, though.
bizarre.
Time Lord's
Me
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
Robert Williams is really good. And I don't even hate Grant Williams. Well, he's terrible on offense, but he's a
Good
so
defender,
much
yeah.
a good defender that it makes him like a net positive. But yeah, some of those guys suck. I mean, maybe that's one of those types of guys that doesn't work well with that type of team. Like maybe that's like a Jeremy Grant situation. You know, I don't know. You're right. They might make a move. I could see that happening. I'm not sure who they need a big.
Yeah.
Or they need to move Kemba.
Yeah. Dude, that would be awesome if they could just go get Vooch. But, dude, they have this player.
They said
they
that
have this
are
trade
interested in
exception.
Vooch, right?
They have this trade exception.
Injured trade exception?
No,
or injured player exception.
No, they have a trade exception
From
too. I don't know how, but Windhorst was talking about it today, and it's like an $18 million trade exception, which is how the Warriors ended up getting Oubre.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they have a trade exception. So I don't know, man. They could do a lot of stuff. I mean, they could use this trade exception, throw Andrew Neesmith, who's like 21. He was the 13th pick in the draft or whatever, right? And they're gonna throw a bunch of these other young guys, and someone's gonna say yes, like Orlando, who's probably looking to blow it up,
Yes.
because they're in basketball
Yes, they
hell.
are. Yeah, they
so
are.
if you could give me a bunch of picks like Danny Ainge has and give them some cash with that trade exception, it'll be interesting to see what Boston can put together, and then maybe possibly move Kemba. Boston.
That would be awesome if they were able to get off that contract.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I mean that contract's obviously plummeting. So I mean it's going to be interesting to see like what Boston is going to do, because they're in a good spot where they have Tatum and Brown and a couple moves, and they could flip it around and they'd be good.
You have any other cool predictions for the trade deadline? Lakers gotta try to do something or no?
No, they don't do
Clippers need a point guard. Still to this day, they need a point guard.
Yeah, I don't see
Nothing?
it happening. Maybe Ricky Rubio.
I think both of those teams make a move. That would be awesome if the Clippers got Ricky Rubio. For them, I mean, that would be phenomenal. That's exactly what they need. They need somebody like that.
I heard that's what that would be. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Ricky
I was
Rubio.
listening to Steven Jackson, and he loves Patrick Beverly from the bottom of his heart.
Right, I believe
But he's
that.
like, yeah, right. They're very similar in that way.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't love him as a point guard, and I certainly don't love him as their point guard. And I think it's a great way to say it. Like,
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly, I don't even hate Patrick Beverly, but like,
Just he's in the wrong role. You need someone who's going to do more as a point guard. Or keep him, but get a point guard.
get a point guard. Yeah, exactly. It's not a point guard. It's fine to throw him out there and let him, do his little thing on defense, and it's
Totally.
annoying to do his whole irritator role. That's fine, but like you need a point guard.
Yeah.
All right, cool. A little fun stuff here. Eastern Conference, you buy any of this? 76ers. There's the 1 seed. You probably buy that, right? At least for now. They're one
not
seed by
gonna
a half
finish.
game.
Yeah, they're not going to finish.
So
the
we don't
1
buy
seed.
that.
Yeah.
Nets, you buy that 2
Yeah.
seed. Bucks 3.
No.
Heat 4.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better together. Jimmy's playing better.
Their defense
Tiro
is awesome.
and Robinson,
Yep.
all those guys are jumping back. And
Yep.
Bam. And
Jimmy's looked great since he's
Yeah.
come back. Since all the COVID stuff, he's come back.
Yeah.
They've looked actually really well. They've been playing really well. 5, Charlotte Hornets.
Yep, buying.
Awesome.
They probably win a playoff series.
They're above Celtics. Celtics are 6.
Yeah.
They're half game up on the Celtics.
God.
Celtics are 6. You like that?
I would love to see a Celtics or like a Hornets, Hawks. Dude, I think we need to start this discussion where it's Melo over Trae Young. Is that craziness?
I mean, hey, look at the records, man. They won more games. Obviously, that doesn't mean much right now. They played 40 games. He's played 40 games in his career. But I mean, I don't know, man. They gotta. They
That's
win more
crazy.
games. They're 7-3 in the last 10.
That's
man.
craziness.
I don't know. We'll
It's-
see. They're both 7.
I think they could win a playoff series for sure.
So do I. I think they both probably could.
Yeah.
So Celtics are at 6. Hawks are at 7.
No, I don't buy that.
That's garbage. This Eastern Conference is garbage. Listen to this. 8 Knicks, 9 Bulls.
Knicks
10.
are playing awesome. Tibbs. Shout out Tibbs,
Listen
man.
to this. 9 Bulls, 10 Pacers, 11 Raptors. All those teams from 11 Raptors to 4 Heat. Those teams are 4 games away from each other. The Heat are 22-18 at 4. The Hornets are 20-18 at 5. The Celtics are 20-19 at 6. The Hawks are 20-20 at 7. The Knicks are 20-21 at 8. The Bulls are 18-20 at 9. The Pacers are 17-21 at 10. The Raptors are 17-22 at 11. That whole 4 through 11 in the East is really, those guys are 4 games away from each other. They're all 2 games back from,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's not, that's nothing. Those games, those teams, that might all change and switch in the meantime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't believe
Dude.
any of that. Let's do the West.
Dude, the Knicks, though. Shout out Tibbs. Can we
dude.
shout out Tibbs?
Absolutely. The Knicks are awesome. Tibbs has been coaching awesome.
Yeah, dude. RJ
Um,
Barrett has been awesome.
they're-
Julius Randle's playing amazing. And you know who I really like, who's going to be an awesome point guard in this league?
Emmanuel Quickley?
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of D Rose.
He's awesome.
Or
he
D
doesn't
Rose
like
and like Lou
shoot-
Williams. Not like D
He doesn't
Rose,
like
old
shoot
D Rose.
set jumpers. It's all floaters.
Yeah,
and
and not
weird
like old
stuff.
D Rose. It's like current D Rose.
Yes.
Which is cool. I mean, he's
I know what
still
you
out
mean.
here getting buckets. Like,
I know
he's
what you mean.
sick, though. I mean, he has floaters all the time. But
All right,
shout
number
out
1 in the
Knicks.
West, Utah.
Yeah, they're probably legit.
that?
They'll probably win a series or 2.
Number 2, Phoenix.
Yeah, they're legit.
Number 3,
CP.
Number 3, Lakers.
Yeah, but they don't have AD. And I will say this. I'm super concerned about this AD injury. I'm
It's
super
lingered.
concerned about
It's
it.
lingered, and they have not
And
looked.
it's an Achilles
that good
injury.
without
And they
him.
said, I just saw a report today that said they're going to hold AD out until further notice. They're going to just wait, regardless of the seeding. AD's just going to be sitting.
It's like
for
when
weeks
LeBron
and
said, "If I
weeks and
come into your
weeks."
building for a Game 7, it's still gonna be a long day." He doesn't care about seeding.
Dude, what if his Achilles is really bad?
It might be. Does he come back for the playoffs?
What if he's just out? Like, remember that KD thing where he was out and they're like, "Oh, he might come back with the
Don't
Achilles."
rush
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
ever rush it. You gotta just wait. Whatever.
I'm
dude.
super concerned about that.
Glide into the 7th seed for all I care. Don't. When you got like a guy like that, like you can't risk what happened to Clay and KD and stuff like that. Like when you have a top 20 talent in the league, like
yeah,
dude, you got
especially when he landed. Remember when he
You
landed?
just sit him. Yeah, you sit him. Tough. Oh well, I don't know what to tell you. 4 Clippers.
No,
You don't buy that?
no, because they're not. I don't know.
You just don't buy them at
They'll
all?
win a series. No, they're obviously an unbelievable team and Kawhi and stuff. But did you hear what Kawhi said recently? He said, we're inconsistent.
Consistent. Yes.
And that was
Inconsistent.
worrisome.
Yes. He's like the good teams aren't inconsistent.
So obviously, I buy them as a good team. I'm not saying they
But you
suck.
don't trust
Kawhi
them.
Leonard, and not in the playoffs. They're not going to win the title.
Okay. 5 Nuggets.
I mean, buy them in far as what? As a
don't know. They
winning
have
team,
5
and
seed?
Jokic will take them into the playoffs, and they'll be a playoff team for sure.
Where
Will
do-
they
how far
win
do
a
they go?
series? I think Phoenix beats Denver in 7.
But right now they're 5 seeds. So right now they play Clippers if it started today.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Again.
They beat them.
Again.
You
Can you imagine
think?
if Kawhi loses in the first round again
It'd be
to Denver?
hilarious.
Oh my
PG's gone.
God. Yeah.
If
He
that
signed
happens.
a massive extension.
If that I
Ballmer
know.
went out and paid
I
him
know.
5 years after sideways P.
Yeah.
After backboard P.
After layoff P.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we say? Yeah, Denver 5, 6 Trailblazers.
Awesome.
They
CJ
are.
came back.
Yeah, CJ's
Tonight.
back today. Yes,
Yeah,
today. Melo's been hooping. They look awesome, man. It's just been Dame time. 7 San Antonio.
I think they're gonna fall out. They need to fall out,
San
but
Antonio.
yeah.
They need to. You mean like they need to lose games
yeah.
to get a good seeding?
Yeah, I think they're giving up on Aldridge. Well, Aldridge, I think, is another guy that we're
Yes.
gonna see go
Another
to a
guy
different
that
team. I
the
think he goes to
Lakers
Portland
or the
yeah.
Celtics or the Clippers, like somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or back to Portland.
Yeah, that's
That'd
what I
be
heard.
weird. Okay. 8 Mavericks.
Dude, I hate to say this. Luke has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's not what I hate to say, but Kristaps has played good.
Yes. Oh, he's been playing awesome.
Yeah. He's putting
I sent you
stats
that
up.
whole article about
Yeah.
how he, he's, the whole article I sent you was talking about his stats that,
Unless Golden State
he's
can
been
get
back.
it going, man, Dallas is definitely going to be a playoff team. You know?
yeah, I don't think Golden State makes the playoffs. I've been saying that
It's
all year.
been a tough.
I've been saying all year. I think
tough
we have
year.
a scrub bet.
But, dude-
I think you and I have a scrub bet on Golden State making the playoffs
yeah.
and Dallas making the playoffs. Because I have Dallas definitely over Golden State from way months ago. And
Yeah.
you have Golden State over Dallas. I remember what you said exactly. You said, "Oh, that's not happening," about Dallas making the playoffs. Yeah, dude. So Kristaps signs a 5-year, $185 million max deal last season. His first in a Mavericks uniform. He goes and he teams up with Luka, and they create the most dominant NBA offense of all time, right? And we all know that. He gets hurt. He goes down. Now all of a sudden he's rehabbing. They gauge interest on him. Cuban says they don't. Said that's not true. If you remember that, and then Porzingis comes back, and since he's been back, so his first game back, or their first game back from the All-Star break, Porzingis goes for 28 and 14 on 11 of 17 shooting. But I mean, like that's pretty much like he's just stepped right back into the exact same role. Like, so the first 6 weeks of the season, they have like a tough. They struggle at the beginning of the season, right?
Right.
All right. So in their last 15 games, they've won 12 of their last 15. They've won 9 of their last 10 with Porzingis in the lineup. This past weekend, Porzingis the other day goes 25 on 10 of 15, including 5 of 7 from deep. Like, this is just what he's been doing since he came back. Like, he's just stepped right back into the exact same role. Pretty much, I'm thinking he knows they're testing his value. You know what I mean? Right. And he's trying to prove that he can be a worthy championship caliber second guy to go along with Lukic, so he doesn't get sent out the door, right?
No, I agree.
So I mean, it's pretty much a contract year for him, quote unquote.
Dude, I think we need to start this discussion. No, I agree with you on the Kristaps thing.
He's been playing awesome.
Yeah,
but I don't know how long it. I don't know
how long it lasts.
Yeah, he knows he's on the chopping block.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I want to kind of shift over to Golden State here, and I think we need to start this discussion that we got to stop this discussion that guys can just carry teams to the playoffs.
I agree.
And take them to titles on their own. It's not
how
the
fair.
modern NBA works.
But
all this hate where
you're
it's
talking
like,
about take them to
need
titles. There's no taking them to titles. Taking them to the playoffs is definitely legit. I just watched James Harden do it for 8 straight years. I watch guys do it all the times. Take their team to a playoff berth, even on a terrible team. Hey, Steph should be able to take this team to the playoffs. Grab an 8 seed.
Yeah.
He should be able to. You're telling me Charlotte can make the playoffs? And Steph Curry can't?
What's Golden State's record right now?
Golden State right now is 20 and 20. They're playing 500
What's Charlotte's
basketball.
record?
Charlotte, obviously they're in the East, but they're 20 and 18. They're 2 games better than Golden State. Yeah. But I'm saying, that's going to piss you off if you're somebody like Steph Curry. You're looking at LaMelo, and he's got all these
you see him all pissed off on the bench?
Steph's got to be like, come on, man. Like, I believe that Steph should be able to make that team, drag that team into the playoffs. Lose in 5 in the first round. That's fine. Get to the playoffs. You better get to the playoffs, or else that's weak.
Did you see him all pissed off on the bench?
When?
You didn't see him screaming at his team on the bench.
Steph.
Like,
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it went viral. He's screaming at his whole team in a timeout.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
They suck.
Yeah. Steph that night also had 14. He's screaming at those guys. He has 14.
He's got 14 points. Exactly. Making my point. Like, hey, man, don't get me wrong. He can still
But, like, bro,
go
we're
crazy.
sitting out
He
here,
did
bro,
the
and
other
he's
day.
dishing out. He's got Wiggins and Oubre. It's like, God.
Whatever, man. You got to win more games. Charlotte has guys that are
God
probably worse than
damn
Wiggins
it.
and Oubre. Whatever, man. They're 2 games better than Golden
Draymond's
State.
got 2 points every night. You're like, dog.
Yeah, and I also brought up to you that I hope you guys aren't getting too cute with it about Klay Thompson, because when he comes back, you guys aren't contenders either. You have a lot of work to do. That does not make you guys contenders. You'd be lucky to be in the top 4 seeds with this team plus Klay. You'd be lucky to be in the top 4 seeds. It don't work like that. You don't just get to hop back in after a year and a half off.
We'll wait and see. I got to see what Klay looks like when he comes back.
The roster just needs more help. That being said, Steph, I expect you to grab that AC, dog.
Or just come to the Lakers.
Better grab that AC, dog. Yeah, that would be weird too. Nah, just grab that AC, bro. You got it. Your team's not that. I mean, they are, but like,
how about
you gotta elevate those guys, man. You gotta elevate them.
Yeah,
you gotta make them play better. You gotta play better D. Let's stop pretending like Steph is perfect and he's uncriticizable. He is. His game is not infallible. There are things in his game that aren't perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so whatever. He's got to play better. He's got to make his team play better. Yeah, he's also playing at basically an MVP level.
Right.
But you're not winning games, man. I mean, you are. You're 500. But, yeah, I want to see you grab that A seed. All right. Any other things? Any other big stories or any other big things you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Couple small things. Marvin Bagley breaks his hand again. That kills me, man. I'm such a Duke guy. I just want
He's hurt again.
all the time.
Send him to the Bulls.
Marvin Bagley's
I'll
hurt
take him on the Bulls
every day of the week.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, Marvin Bagley breaks something.
It excites
Breaks
me.
his
It
hand.
excites me that he
I agree.
could
I'll
be
take
on
him
the
on the
block.
Bulls. I'll take him on the
That
Bulls.
would be awesome.
Because you never know. It could be like a Simmons and Embiid thing
Dude,
where like he's
what's
hurt
up
the
with
first
him and,
couple
like-
years of his career and then it evens out and then he becomes awesome.
Right.
You don't know. I'd take him on the Bulls. It'd be cool. They
What's
suck
up?
anyway.
What's up with like Charlotte?
For Bagley?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But they're like trending up. I don't know if I'd be messing with stuff. They got PJ Washington and Bridges. They got like nice wings and 3-4 situation going there. The other one I wanted to bring up was Pistons rookie Killian Hayes. He just got cleared for his on-court activities. He's been sidelined since January 4th with a hip subluxation injury. So basically it means his hip is popping in and out. But yeah, so January 4th, it's been a while. It's been, over 2 months. So Killian Hayes, he's been fun to watch. Really, I just like his style because I wear the same glasses. But he's been fun. He's been somebody that we've at least been trying to keep an eye on. He was supposed to be somebody fun to watch. He obviously hasn't been playing for 2 months, so that's cool. He got cleared. Otherwise, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We got the second half of the season coming up. It should be exciting.
Can't wait for this trade deadline.
Yeah, dude, trade deadline's on the 25th. Second half of the season coming up here. We got some actual pretty cool announcements coming up. So as always, make sure you guys are following along. Social media, you can find us Stepback Pod on Twitter, Stepback Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. I am Kyle Coleman on Twitter, and I am Pat Sabolka, right?
Yeah.
On Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
I am Kyle Coleman on Twitter and Instagram as well. All right, cool. Till next week. Cool. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
We out.